Gun introduction for bird dogs is not normally a difficult task, but it is a very important one. My preferred method is to not introduce the gun until the dog has had lots of exposure to birds. They love pointing them and they love chasing them. And if you're following along with my How to Train Your Bird Dog video, then you should be using electronic launchers and good flying pigeons to simulate what a wild bird would do. After many bird contacts, like a couple dozen or more, the dog should be chasing aggressively and flush, just like these dogs here. To introduce the gun, I do the following. Launch the bird and let the dog chase. When the dog is 40 yards or so from you and still chasing aggressively, fire one time with a blank pistol pointed behind you and towards the ground. Doing it this way, the shot is less than half as loud than as shown here. Watch your dog closely. A lot of people assume that everything's fine as long as the dog doesn't run back to them or to the kennel or to the truck. But did their speed change? Did they look back towards the sound of the shot? Did their ears or tail move in a submissive or unhappy way? Regardless of how well you think your dog did on the first bird, immediately plant another bird and repeat the exercise, but this time don't fire your pistol. Just watch your dog, because a lot of times it's that second bird that will indicate if your dog, or how well your dog did with gunfire. Because if your dog exhibits any difference in how they react after that second bird is launched, then you need more work without gunfire before trying later. So if you're sure that your dog did fine with the first gunshot, you can slowly progress over the next few workouts where you continue to fire just once, but while the dog is closer and closer to you, as long as the dog is chasing aggressively. When you progress to where you can fire your gun pointed not behind you, but towards the dog, and when it's just 10 yards or so as it chases, then continue this for a while and start shooting twice or 3 times. Until now, we've been allowing the birds to fly off, but now your dog is going to finally get a bird in its mouth, and so that enthusiasm should overcome the louder report of the gun. For pointing dog owners, it's not important that your dog point the bird, and it's actually a lot easier to control the situation if they don't. Just get your dog's attention and then throw the bird to fly off. Light cover is ideal so that your dog can see the bird when it's shot and then quickly get to it when it falls. You really want to kill this first bird if possible, and if you must fire a second time, never a third, pause a little bit between shots. And if you have any doubts about your ability to kill the bird, use a wing clip bird that you know can't fly more than 40 yards or so and shoot your gun in the air when your dog is within 5 or 10 feet from the bird. For dogs that won't chase or won't chase aggressively, you'll need to use the distant shooter method to introduce gunfire. For these dogs, I use either a wing clip bird or a dead bird, which is much more exciting than just watching birds fly off. Live birds are better than dead birds, but this can become expensive if your dog isn't soft-mouthed. Watch how this distant shooter method is used with the gun-shy dog as I slowly reintroduce gunfire. Forward. All right, give it. Notice how I communicate with the shooter. When I'm ready for a shot, I put my hand in the air. Come here, my man. Also note that this series of videos was shot in one afternoon at the end of Ford's training, but the actual training took place over several weeks. All right, come here, buddy. Yeah! Come on, bud. Let's go. That's it. Let's go. Of course it. Yeah! Come here. Come on. That's it. Let's go, pal. Here are a few cell phone videos that I took for a client who brought me a gun-shy dog to work. Let's go. For dogs that already have a problem with the gun, they must love birds. If they do, then progress extremely slowly using the distant shooter method, but only after the dog has chased and maybe even been allowed to catch dozens of birds. Look at that. Go at the dog's pace and go back to a previous step if you notice the dog isn't ready for the progress that you're attempting.
Oh my goodness, what a good boy! What a good boy! Yay! Oh man! Good boy!
That's how you introduce your dog to gunfire, but caution is still going to be required for the first year or so. Just because we can shoot one time over our dogs with a shotgun, that doesn't mean that you and two friends can shoot 8 or 9 times into a covey of quail. And notice that every time we fired the gun, the dog has been excitedly chasing something. So be real careful about shooting if your dog doesn't see the birds flushed or isn't chasing. Thanks for watching, and if you would, please like and subscribe, as it really does help me grow the channel.